If you're prepped for an exam and you studied so hard, you feel like you're ready, you've quizzed yourself, you're ready to go, you're everything, and then you get to the exam and your mind goes blank. Poof. It's like, and then the anxiety kicks in, your heart starts beating real fast, you start sweating, and you just don't know how to answer a good majority of the questions, and you start freaking out. Well, in this video, I want to show my tips that I use throughout college and through medical school of what I use to help reduce anxiety so that you can perform better on those exams. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. LeGrand. I'm somebody who actually suffered with ADHD, anxiety, and dyslexia growing up, going through college and medical school. And this channel is to help you guys to be able to learn from strategies that I've learned and other people that I've used it for, such as different patients, that you guys actually reach optimal mind performance. That's why this channel is called Optimal Mind Performance, to reach your most optimal levels of peak performance with ADHD, anxiety, and depression. So if you are new to this channel and want to know more about those things, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, give us a like if you like this video, as well as go ahead and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any other future videos. So let's go and dive right into today's topic. So for me, going through college, high school, and medical school, it never was really quite easy. It never came to a point where like, oh yeah, this is easy now. It always was really difficult, but I definitely used strategies that did make it easier and help me succeed and get through actually college and medical school growing up with ADHD, anxiety, and dyslexia. I can still remember, and still even, I'm glad I don't have to take those exams anymore in college and medical school. They were always a nightmare to have to kind of go through, but I remember where I would spend so much time studying night and day for weeks for an exam, and get to a point when I get to the actual exam, I would freak out because my mind would go blank, and I would start breathing very heavily, my heartbeat would start racing really fast, I would start sweating, and really would go blank and not knowing how to answer the question, even though I knew I studied these specific actual questions. And this is what we call as test anxiety, where you have to use certain techniques to be able to reduce this. And I learned this along the way, and it really helped me in my exams. And I want to go over, the different steps that I actually implement to help you guys who do struggle with this, that you can actually use this to help reduce your anxiety while in the exam room. Step one, obviously this is a big obvious one, is to be able to just prep yourself. Make sure you study plenty enough time. I did that all the time, so I never had an issue with this. But the other thing is also eating very well, getting good healthy fats, proteins, vegetables. Your body and your brain need these types of nutrients so that it can actually handle when the stress kicks in. Step two that I would recommend is, what I would always do is make sure to get a good night's sleep the night before the actual exam day. This is so important because you've been studying so much. You've been trying to memorize all these different things, testing yourself, that there's so much information going on here. You need your brain to process all that and kind of download it, as I kind of call it, just to kind of process all that. And sleep is very important to be able to retain that when you actually have memorized several different things. Step three, I found that was really helpful to reduce my anxiety before the exam is, even though I studied so much the weeks before, or however long it might be that you studied for that exam, I would actually quiz myself one last time, or what I would even do more is get a big, huge whiteboard, and draw out my notes and everything and quiz myself. So that way I actually had it fresh in my mind, so that when I got to the exam, that it was just fresh there and I could just do really well and perform well and didn't have to stress so much. Step four, I thought this was a really big, helpful thing for me. I wish I would have done at the very beginning of actual exam days when I was in college, is actually bringing a set of earplugs. Now, sometimes colleges, they do provide them. You can ask for a set of earplugs. It depends, but I would definitely bring earplugs if you find that you get distracted like I do. A lot of kids with ADHD tend to get distracted, and using earplugs can be so helpful to not bring up that stress and anxiety because something's distracting you and you can't concentrate. This also helps you to actually internally think when it's super quiet, and you can think of your thoughts and process things so that you can actually succeed on that exam that you've been studying so hard for. The fifth step that I recommend, if you are starting to feel like you are starting to get anxiety kicking in and starting going through a panic attack, your heart's beating real fast, you're starting to get sweaty, is pause for a moment and start doing breathing exercise. This helped me significantly when I started doing this, is that, breathing through the nose, then out through the mouth, trying to slow your breath in and out, and just take a moment and even do this while you're answering the questions, because this will help calm the nervous system to be able to relax and bring oxygen to the brain, because the brain needs oxygen so that it will start working properly. So these are things that you definitely need to start using and practicing, is this breathing exercise to help you actually get through the test without over getting stressed. The sixth step is something that it may or may not work for everybody, but I found this to be very helpful, is using some kind of shape or form of aromatherapy that you find that's calming. So maybe a certain scent that can actually calm your nervous system down. For me, it was lavender. Lavender's known to actually help calm the nervous system down. So I would use something like essential oil, something like that you can actually rub just above your nose so you can smell it, or put it on your hands so you kind of rub your hands, smell it, be able to kind of help calm you down. Now, it might be something that reminds you of home to calm you down. Maybe the scent of a baking cookies or something like that. Something that you know specifically that can help you calm down, because scent is so strong. That's why aromatherapy can be very powerful to help calm the nervous system down, especially when you're starting to feel anxious, to help you relax. The seventh and final step that I just kind of want to implement that I found very helpful is when I would go through a test. I remember I would sit there and I would come to a question that I didn't know how to answer. I'd go blank. And I would spend too much time sitting there trying to figure out, trying to remember. I'm reflecting back and maybe drawing things out to try to remember. But I learned that if you don't remember, don't know how to answer the question, it's best to actually just mark it and move on forward. The reason why is sometimes there's actually questions that are asked further on that help you remember that question you couldn't answer before. Or sometimes it kind of answers the question for you because it's asked differently. So these are little tricks that you can do, and I learned that were really helpful. Is when I started doing that, I was able to get through the test faster. I didn't have to stress too much on about the time because I would just mark it, and then it would come back to me and be like, or I would go right back to it quickly as soon as I answered a different question because something happened where it helped me remember something that I forgot about to answer that specific question. So by doing this will help you calm down more and be able to realize, it'll come back to my mind, just kind of move on and be able to actually perform really well in the exam versus running out of time. All right, guys, that is it. I hope that helped you guys help kind of reduce anxiety for you guys who deal with ADHD, anxiety, and depression during exams. And if you are a parent or somebody that deals with ADHD, anxiety, and depression, go ahead and hit the subscribe button because every week we do post a new video on these types of topics. And if you have not already checked out these videos over here, go and check those out on ADHD of how to improve upon that. And this is Dr. LeGrand signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.